All right, today we are breaking down one of the weirdest, most perfect animated shorts to ever go viral. You know the one. It starts off in a totally normal kitchen, but it ends up somewhere, well, way beyond the laws of physics. We're going to get into the anatomy of this bizarre meme. So yeah, let's just dive right in.
I mean, it's a question you've probably never even thought to ask, right? But this little animation, it gives us an answer we will never forget. So let's break down how a super simple family moment just completely spirals into, reality-bending chaos.
And it all kicks off right here. Our little hero, our protagonist, I guess, he walks into the kitchen and says these words. And oh man, are they ironic. This one line is just the perfect, quiet little setup for the absolute storm of insanity that is about to hit.
You see, the magic of this whole thing, why it works so well, is that it starts with something painfully familiar. It's just a kid trying to get his mom's attention. We've all been there, right? That feeling of being ignored for a phone screen, and that, right there, is the launchpad for all the absurdity to come.
So this really breaks down the basic conflict, doesn't it? On one side, you have the kid, and his goal is simple. It is urgent. Get a snack. Can I play? Can I play? On the other side, his mom is just totally lost in her phone call, only giving him that distracted, It is the absolute classic standoff, Childhood impatience versus parental distraction.
And this is the breaking point. This super simple text on screen signals a massive shift. Just 1 minute later, and suddenly, reality itself starts to kind of fray at the edges.
Okay, so now we're officially leaving the real world behind us. This is the point where simple impatience just morphs into complete unhinged insanity. The animation is about to take off, and I mean that literally.
And the escalation happens so fast. First, the kid's frustration becomes this literal visual glitch. He's just vibrating. Then he grabs this mysterious, glowing purple fruit off the counter. That's the catalyst. And just one bite later, bam! He's spinning up towards the ceiling. Normalcy has, it has officially left the building.
And you just have to listen to how he describes it. Skin berries. What even are skin berries? It's so bizarre, so nonsensical, that it just perfectly captures this dreamlike, or maybe nightmarish feeling of what's going on. We have no clue what skin berries are, and that is exactly the point. It's just pure, strange internet poetry.
You know, what makes this moment so funny is the kid's own shocked reaction to what's happening to him. He's not just some passive victim of this weird fruit, no way. He's an active and very vocal participant in the chaos. And his panic, yelling, "It's a floater!" that gives a name to this impossible event. It really cements it as a top-tier meme moment.
And now it's time for the punchline. This is the moment that truly cements this whole thing as a comedy masterpiece. Mom is about to get back into the story, and believe me, her reaction is everything. The tension here is just perfect. Think about it. She's been totally oblivious this whole time. The kid has glitched out, eaten some magic fruit, and is now literally hovering near the ceiling. She hangs up, she turns around, and for just a split second, you're wondering, okay, is she going to scream? Is she going to faint? What is she going to do?
And her reaction is this. It's not a scream, it's a sound effect. Just a simple, understated bit of confusion. Instead of total panic, we get this pure, meme-worthy disbelief. And honestly, that's what makes it 1,000 times funnier.
So what's the kid's response? From the ceiling? This aggressive, completely out-of-nowhere command. The whole parent-child dynamic is just violently flipped on its head. The floating, supernatural kid is now the one in charge, yelling down at his confused mom. It is the ultimate subversion of that scene we saw at the very beginning.
And just when you think it cannot possibly get any weirder, the video ends, with the kid flying away. And the soundtrack? Gotti's Somebody That I Used to Know. I mean, the choice is so random, so completely out of place, that it becomes the final, perfect layer of absurdity. It just seals its fate as a totally iconic piece of internet culture.
So the big question is, why does this work so well? What makes this bizarre little story a viral hit? Well, it's not random, I can tell you that. It's actually a perfect storm of really smart, creative choices.
Really, it all comes down to these 4 key ingredients. First, you start with a premise that is hyper-relatable, something everybody gets. Then, you throw in a completely unexpected descent into surrealism that nobody sees coming. Third, you land a shocking, subversive punchline that just flips the entire dynamic.
And finally, you wrap the whole thing in memorable, shareable audio and visuals. Everything from skin berries to that perfect That, right there, is the recipe for a viral masterpiece.
Which kind of leaves us with one final thought to chew on. Is this just a funny, weird animation, or in an age where we are all constantly glued to our screens, is the story of a kid who has to literally defy gravity to get his mom's attention, is that kind of like a modern fable? It's definitely something to think about.